and Industrial Relations from Malaysian Employees Federation. Alright, over more than 25 years, he gained his experience in business operation and management roles, progressing to senior level management in different industrial settings, from well-established organizations, namely Nestle, Toyota, Jacob Group, various JLC, and Prime Minister Department. Alright, so Tuan Haji Amran has experience in private and also government organization. He has a proven track record as a business leader with a strategic involvement to turn around the company, business transformation, people engagement, and organizational development. Facilitate various change management, including managing key stakeholders. He comes across as a people and business-centric partner with a wide exposure in leading and implementing strategic initiatives to drive productivity and business improvement. Alright, he's certified as a training facilitator for the 7 Habits of Highly Effective People from Franklin Covey, Skill for Empowered Workforce from Development Dimension International, Personal Profile and Human Job Analysis from Thomas International, Toyota Management System from Japan Association for Overseas Technical Training, Mission Direct Work Team from Comparative Dynamic International, Executive Coach from International Professional Managers Association, and Balance Scorecard from the George Washington University College of Professional Studies. So we have invited Tuan Haji Amran, the right person to talk about how to market yourself in the job interview. Inshallah, Tuan Haji Amran, this is your floor. All right.
Okay, Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alamin wassalatu wassalamu ala ashrafil anbiya wal mursalin wa ala alihi wa sahbihi ajma'in. Rabbi shrah li sadri wa yassir li amri wal 'uqdatam min lisani yafqahu qawli. Thank you the MC Saudara Azlan Bayu, and also all the students. How many students we have today?
Today, usually we expected to have like 400 something, but they still joining because of maybe they have internet connection problem because most of them are at their homes right now.
All right. Okay. Right. Let me see. I will use my my presentation. Let me see here. Can you see the presentation material, or it's bad quality? Let me see. I will change my internet connection.
All right. Never mind.
Let me. You can see now the presentation material?
No. Yes. I don't know, maybe nampak tak slide daripada ceramah? Tapi organizer memang tak nampak lah.
Nampak? I already share my desktop. By right should be okay.
Okay, nampak. Okay, content.
Okay.
This one is it?
Yes. COVID-19.
Okay, COVID.
Okay. Right. Okay. I would like to share some scenario, the latest development in the market, because I was told that actually all the final year student, right?
Yes, most of them.
Okay, for the financial, that means you will enter the job market very, very soon. So I will share some my experience and also what actually the latest development in the job market now, especially I think everybody know that now we actually facing this COVID-19. We totally changed the job, what we call the market situation now. In fact, now every company, all the big company are also struggling to sustain and also to survive, right? Because based on our data, every year we have around what we call 30 to 40,000 the new fresh graduates enter the market, where the job opportunities is there, but very, very limited because all the company, under pressure to manage our operational costs and also to sustain for the next 6 to 12 months, some company freeze the recruitment, some company carry out the retrenchment exercise, right sizing exercise, downsizing exercise, pay cut and so on. In fact, the big group like Jacob, we have around 60,000 employees in the group. Also, we also in a difficult situations, and we have taken some sort of proactive step to ensure that we can sustain, okay, for the next 6 months. But this is actually the scenario now in the market. Compared to those days 20 years ago when I graduated in 1991, the 3 or 4 jobs waiting for me. But now the situation is changed a bit, but there are some opportunity there. Because I will share some of the what we call some trick where you actually or the fresh graduate can enter the market. You can stop me anytime if you have any questions. Because I would like to have more two-way communication rather than only my self-talk. Okay, I want to start with this slide. It's not what happened to you, but how you handle what happened then makes a difference. Sometimes people look problem is problem, and some people look a problem is opportunity, right? In fact, since we have the what we call the MPO or PKP, we started somewhere in March, kan? Even though a lot of the very restricted movement, but there are some new job opportunity in the market, right? So, for example, the Grab, the people work from home, and actually also to speed up. We actually in the corporate sector, we also anticipate, for the next 5 to 10 years, a lot of the job actually work from home. Okay, but with the COVID-19, actually we speed up everything with the IR 4.0, with the digitalization. So this actually the COVID-19 give a real what we call the new landscape of the job environment in the market, and also we provide some opportunity, what we call a new competency, new opportunity like the young graduate. I will share with you what actually some opportunity or some pattern in the market. Right now, I think as a fresh graduate, you start move your comfort zone, right? So this is comfort zone, So when you in the university, sometimes you actually have money, your parents will support you, but now you start slowly, you must need to be independent. So that means you move from this point, okay, to the growth zones. So when we move from the comfort zone this way, we start learn the new thing, you need to try sometime, maybe some failure, but never mind, sometimes you need to take the challenge in order to test your ability, what actually your strength, what actually your weaknesses. Okay, right. So this actually the evolution of the employees. As you can see the past and the future. In the past, we always talk about work from 9 to 5, but in future, work anytime. you know, as long as you have internet, what we call connection, you know, you are contactable, then we can work anytime. It's not necessary 9 to 5. Okay. In the past, we work based on we need a big office, big room, but now in future is work from anywhere, you know, and a lot of company actually do a lot of the cost cutting now by no need to have a big office, you know. In fact, we in Jacob also, we start looking our office in the Komtar JBCC. Why I need sampai 11 floor, all right? So we need just one, you know, everybody can work from home. Last time we used only the company equipment, but in future we can use any device. Now you have your handphone, you have your laptop, or you have your iPad, whatever, you can work only. So we no need, you know, last time, you know, go to the office, the pencil, pen also company provide. But in future is normal, right? Last time we only focus on the input. Input mean, you know, people, you know, the facilities we provide. But in future, we only focus on the output. Okay, we don't care, you know, bila you nak kerja, masa bila you nak kerja. We want to see only the result. Okay, so you can see here from here to here. Okay, climb from the corporate ladder. You create your own ladder. You know, so customize work, separate defined work, and all this one actually changes yang happen in the market now. So either you are ready or not ready, that means it's up to you. So that means you need to know the future. All the company actually move to this direction. Okay, move to the direction. In fact, this is actually another characteristic of the future of work environment. Okay, people work what we call cross-functional, cross-function team. Okay, there are no hierarchy organization, but they call a work from anywhere, dipanggil networking organization. Your team could be in US, could be in Japan, could be in Thailand, you know. So you can apply also the job from anywhere in the world. So that means we open our market. So that's why we need to recruit the best talent, cross-functional team. You actually need to the what we call the self-organized. No need your superior or your boss to monitor you, right? They just give you the KPI or key performance indicator, the assignment, then you just produce. Then we need somebody young, agile, can work anywhere, can take a new challenge. You know, sometimes the discipline you have, for example, in certain area. Could be not more relevant anymore when you go to the job market. Okay, so that's why you need to adjust a bit. Then you must be all-rounder. We have a lot of the technology automized, and also the way we work like the remote. For example, like today, we have like Azlan in Bandar Penawar. I'm in KL. Maybe all of you, I mean, all over in this country, right? Not necessarily in Johor anymore. But we still can meet, we still can talk, we still can discuss, you know. So this is actually the move, the way forward on the next future of work environment. In fact, if you notice, this is actually some development, you know, we can see sekarang ni kan, sebagai contoh, you pernah dengar macam Bitcoin, the world biggest bank, actually no actual cash. Uber, the world largest taxi. In fact, they don't have even one unit of taxi, tapi they become a taxi company. Okay, the same also like the Facebook. Facebook can see our pattern. They just what? They just a media owner, tapi you know, they just jual the data. He can read your punya behavior, the way you think, you know. So this the Facebook. Like the famous one, Alibaba. Kan? Siapa tak tahu Alibaba? Siapa tak tahu Jack Ma? Kan? You all know Jack Ma? Jack Ma actually just an English teacher. He start his career as English teacher. He not the IT expert ke apa. No, he just an English teacher. But now he become the most successful company in the world. I would like to share some video on Jack Ma. I hope that everybody can see this video.
didn't have a rich father, not from well educated. I said I tried 3 times for university, all failed. I applied for Harvard for 10 times, all failed. They don't even want to see me. And I think that is a normal life, right? And I believe that it was so difficult at that time. I was so frustrated. I believe that something is waiting for me there, and I have to work hard to prove myself. So that was the tough experience. Nobody believed that I could be successful, because everybody said, well, this guy think differently, think crazily, they think about something never work. That is the history. That's the thing. It was so difficult at that time. And now after 16 years, we have we have an Alibaba group, we have a Tmall group, we have a Taobao group, we have an Alipay. And people say, how you make it? Why this make it? Why people cannot find opportunities, you can find opportunities. And I think people same here today. Jeff, where is the opportunity? I don't have a job. I don't have this. I don't have that. And then when you think about this, start to do it. Now making sure the people working with you together believe the dreams. Whether investors believe it this or not, whether your friends believe it or not, whether your parents believe it or not, that's not important. You believe it. Your team believe it. And work day and night on this. That's how the things happens. Don't complain. Let the other people complain. Those people complain, those people who steal. And do not always say, well, I don't have. Think about how you can make things different. Use your own brain to think. And believe one thing, this is also another last advice I want to give you. You have to work very hard, right? Either work for the others or work for yourself. And I choose the way, work for myself. But working for myself, that means working for the society. If you really want to work for yourself, think about the others.
Okay, I hope everybody can watch that video just now. Is it clear, Azlan, the video?
Yes.
Okay. Right. Okay. So we proceed. Okay. So we must learn some successful leader like the Alibaba. If you read the Alibaba biography, he actually start as an English teacher. He know nothing about the IT, But now he become the most successful what you call IT company yang provide the ecosystem to the business. In fact, 30 years ago, when he started his business, nobody believed about him. In fact, he attended many interviews, then people reject him. So this is why he start to open this Alibaba. Okay. Can you see this slide?
Yes.
Okay. Maybe I need to get some response from the participant. Okay. What do you see? Anybody want to respond about this word?
Okay. The participant can give a feedback, maybe. All right.
What you can see?
The word?
Yes. The red color one.
Okay.
Any response?
All right, participant, you can give a response to the slide that's showed by Tuan Haji. All right. Anyone can switch on the microphone?
Opportunity is nowhere.
Opportunity is nowhere. Okay.
Where is opportunity lah.
Apa lagi yang you nampak? Opportunity is nowhere kan? Okay, right. All see opportunity is nowhere. Oh, Azlan, if they write something, maybe you can read because I cannot see their comment.
Where they can write.
Yeah, if let's say they put some comment, you can read.
Okay, all right, you can go to meeting chat and write something there. Okay, I will read out to Tuan Haji Amran. Right, go to meeting chat. Okay, maybe somebody can write. Anybody free, you know, to write to give feedback on the slide showed by Tuan Haji Amran. Okay, go to meeting chat and write anything you want related to the slide. Okay, go to meeting chat. I think you are familiar with meeting chat. Meeting chat.
Any comment? Any feedback?
Okay, any comment? Please give feedback on the meeting chat. All right. I'm still waiting.
No response?
Not yet, not yet. They say tak boleh respond. I think because of some technical errors again, technical problem. Right. I think you might continue.
Okay.
Okay. Maybe you can. They can WhatsApp me and I will read out for you.
Okay. All right. Okay. So there are two words you can see here. You know, it depends from which perspective. Some people say opportunity is nowhere, right? But some people maybe see opportunity is now here, right? So this is the same thing like the COVID-19. You know, some people comment is opportunity is nowhere, but some people, okay, they really make a business. That's why every problem always have the opportunity. Don't look the problem is problem. Okay, we must look the problem is opportunity. Right. The positive people look opportunity, but it's quite normal. But now the problem, they also look the opportunity. Okay. So what option you have? Okay, when you graduate nanti lah, kan? So there are two options lah. Okay. Most what we call contract of service. Most often is full-time employment, like a normal, you work sama ada full-time or part-time or contract or temporary. But most company now is use a lot of contract, for example 1 or 2 years. In fact, the government also now is no longer is a permanent punya job. Right, a lot of contract. It's never mind, whatever the opportunity you have, you should grab. Okay, another one is contract for service. This actually what we call gig workers, right? So you actually not belong to one specific company A, company B, or company C, but you provide your service to them. So they mean you may get the income, okay, from 3 atau 4 company. It depends on you. This is actually the what we call freelance or self-employed. I can offer multiple parties at the same time, and this job or this style of working become more and more popular. You can work everywhere, you can work anywhere. The company just give some sort of assignment, then you just complete it. So this is actually another option ataupun opportunity yang tengah growth in the market. They slowly, a lot of company, we move from off service to for service, right? Another one is, you know, I mean, you jadi entrepreneur lah, right? So jadi entrepreneur, that mean, you know, the best nak jadi entrepreneur ni actually you solve people punya problem. Then you can survive. They say people look for you, okay? Then that's why you need to have your skill, your knowledge to solve certain problem. For example, during COVID-19, kan a lot of people tak boleh keluar daripada rumah. And some people solve people punya problem. Dia provide apa ni, jual ikan online, jual sayur online, you know, just people waiting dekat house. So, you know, they solve people punya problem. This is another business, okay? Another business what we call B2B business. B2B business ni macam mana? For example, let's say, kalau you pergi pasar malam, okay? Some people boleh tengok, especially macam Malay ni kan, kalau orang tu jual goreng pisang, so the next also goreng pisang. Ataupun kalau orang tu jual tebu, the next pun tebu. Dia tengok yang mana yang apa, yang dia tengok orang punya business, oh dia boleh buat, aku pun nak buat. Okay? Tetapi yang we call B2B, dia pergi pasar malam, dia tengok orang jual bisnes, dia kata, okay, what actually the business yang I boleh enter. I don't want to compete with the existing punya peniaga, kan? So dia tengok, okay, kalau this guy jual goreng pisang, another one is jual tebu, dan dia tengok, oh, I can, sebagai contoh lah, I can supply the plastic, for example. Bayar plastik for the whole this pasar malam, kalau dia nak plastik, ambil pada I. So this actually what we call B2B business. And so this is actually another opportunity lah. If you cannot go for option of service, for service, then this is actually another option. For you need to think about that. Tapi for the purpose of this presentation, I will focus more on off service dengan for service to guide you all, you know, how you want to can market yourself. Alright, is it clear? Any questions so far?
Right, basically Tuan Haji Amran, actually the participant comment on live event Q&A, they write here the comment and so on. Can you look live event Q&A?
Live event.
Live event Q&A, I mean question and answer. They write something here.
Can you read? Because why? I actually because I share my desktop, I can.
All right. Okay. So most of them they write, they say yes, nampak opportunity is nowhere lah. I mean the slide that you show previously.
Right.
Okay. Okay, you can I think proceed.
Okay, if any questions, then you can stop me at any time.
All right. Okay, I will look at it.
All right, you just monitor that one. Okay. So now we go to how to market yourself. In fact, this module normally when I conduct this one, actually the 3 days programs. Start dengan how to write the resume, you know. But for the purpose of today punya presentation, I just a shortcut, okay. I just give some key point. Then after that, you know, we can have a dialogue session. Okay, so now how you want to search a job in the market? You see, ada off service ataupun for service normally is quite normal lah yang kita tengok dalam advertisement, job street, LinkedIn, Facebook and so on. But that one actually only 20 or 40% the job yang you nampak. Tapi yang tak nampak 70 and 80% yang tak nampak. For example, we dekat Jacob, walaupun we not openly advertise certain position, but there are some vacancy. Some vacancy we not advertise. Right, so not invisible to the market, but there are some jobs we are still recruit people, right? So you must understand whatever you see in the market like the iceberg, only 20%, okay, 70%, 80% there are still job opportunity in the market. All right. So when you see the visible, okay, normal lah, newspaper, advertisement, placement agency. Yang invisible ni apa? This actually the personal department. Start search. Okay, normally the HR lah, dia orang akan buat what we call, this why if you have some connection, it's good, maybe you know what's going on. Or could be when the company start do a lot of the transformation, change. In fact, to face this COVID-19, a lot of companies start do a redesign the job, content, the way they work. We sometimes, the old timer or time ni, dia tak ada that competency. You may surprise, in the let's say those people yang 50 apa semua nak kadang-kadang nak buka what we call the handphone pun tak tahu, nak masuk Microsoft Teams pun tak tahu. There are some people, they don't have that competency. This is actually why we are looking for young generation, okay, where I think all of you is IT technology, right? IT knowledge kan, IT literate. Then when we make decision to find a replacement or new employee or someone leave us, because sometimes we dengar maybe notice of announcement, retirement, or maybe company start do a special project, or new problem start, or maybe some restructuring exercise. This is actually some opportunity where sometimes we not advertise, right? So this is actually very important. You must have a good connection with certain people.
This is, excuse me, this is you mean about hidden job market, is it?
Yes. In fact, kalau change government pun, government start announce certain incentive or initiative, certain project, they mean there are some job opportunity there.
So in your opinion, is it hidden job market is good? I mean, they still look at the qualification, qualified or...
Yes. The qualification, the quality is the same.
Right.
But they still, because they not advertised. Because why? Sometimes when we do the advertisement, it's quite costly to the company. So kalau visible market ni, maybe we can use our networking, reference, and sometimes, for example, macam kalau kita nak dapatkan, for example macam under Jacob, we have Kulim. Kulim is the biggest plantation company in our group. We need to find the cadet planter estate manager. Sometimes we don't advertise. But how we have a good networking, that's why I can contact the lecturer dekat UPM in Fakulti Pertanian apa semua. Okay, then we start asking, okay, who actually your best student, in that field. Then we have actually a good networking with a certain lecturer. In fact, during my time dulu, lecturer actually start to give what we call a supply. These people, okay, this student, the best student you can take. We no need for advertise. Of course, there are some process follow normal interview and so on. Okay. Right. Like sekarang, we also looking for somebody who have some sort of the knowledge in the digitalization, because kita tengah drive this digital transformation. So we need a lot of people yang boleh think about IT engineering. In fact, for example, now in Kulim we tengah develop what we call smart harvest. We need somebody engineer embedded yang boleh baca IT engineering. They can do a lot of connection. And very difficult to find the candidate. Okay. So you can look, this are the statistic normally bila kita buat, yang you nampak advertisement just 5%. Could be through the executive search. Executive search ni normally for very senior position. Normally macam senior manager and above, normally we don't advertise because of the certain confidentiality. This why we use what we call executive firm, executive search. For example, when I move to one company to another company, actually all through executive search. That means you no need to find a job, but these people akan looking for you. This way, or at the senior level, when we move to one company to another company, actually through executive search. But you need to maintain you punya reputation, you punya profile in the market lah. Okay. Then through internet is normal, the job street and so on. Sometimes we do direct marketing. Direct marketing, for example, let's say we have open kita punya booth ke apa, ataupun we go to the university, then this actually the direct marketing. And 60%, 80% actually through our networking. Right. Of course, now kalau ada satu job position, could be we have 10,000 people are waiting. So you need to show that you actually really extraordinary candidate. You have something special you can offer. You know. So I will skip some of this one. Okay. This actually the visible market. You can see lah, you know, all this advertisement. Those days, people always look macam Star. Kalau Star every Saturday is actually the time a lot of the job advertisement in the Star. Those days lah, but now it's no longer. I think a lot of people look for what we call job street and so on. Okay. The internet, you also can use. Sometimes you must look dia punya website, especially kalau macam certain targeted company you want to work. Okay, you must look dia punya website. Macam my career, I only have dulu my targeted company, the best in the world, like the Toyota, like Nestle. Toyota number 1 in the automotive industry in the world. You know, Nestle number 1 in the food based on dekat France kan, yang produce Milo and so on. You know, so you must have some targeted company. Then you start look dia punya what we call website. And sometimes it's okay. You just park your resume there. You know, in their database. Okay, then this actually what I share with you on the placement of the agency. We use the executive search and for certain position. Okay, so far clear. Any question? Any comment?
So far, no question from the participant because I look at the live event Q&A.
Okay.
All right, but Tuan Haji Amran, yeah, I mean, I'm talking about, you're talking about experienced employer, right, that can change from company to the company. But what happened to the fresh graduate? I mean, you're talking about reputation. How they can actually build up their reputation? Because
but nowadays, you know, we actually need to develop our own career. No need to wait for the company, because normally the young generation now, if you talk to the old generation, kalau you tanya how long you stay in this company, you kata, oh, I already stay this company 10 years.
Right.
Okay. 10 years for old generation, they kata, oh, you still like the what we call a fresh. I already work here 30 years, 40 years. Tapi when we talk about the young generation, kalau 10 years, too long already. Because normally 3 to 5 years, people start move around because to develop dia punya career. You know, because why? If you wait in that company, there are no career opportunity. Right? This why you know, especially macam the top performer, because normally people will move around within the 10%, especially at the top level. And when people move, they mean there are some vacancy there. This why people start move around. And good also sometimes to move around to, then you can learn new experience and so on. It's quite common. In fact, kalau as employer punya point of view lah, let's say I have a candidate work in one company 20 years, 30 years. Compare dengan another person, they move 3 or 4 company 5 years. I will take these people yang 5 years ni move. Because why? Sometimes people stay in one company, you know, 20 years, their experience actually equal to 1 year because he repeat the same thing for 20 times. You know, but people yang move around normally they can easily move, they can work anywhere. For example, like myself, I'm actually, my background not the HR. Okay, I'm actually horticulturist. I should work in estate long days ago, but I changed a bit, you know. So I work in the premises department. I start as a training man, then I moved to the Denso or Toyota Group in production. Then I moved to Straits Time as a transformation office, you know. So I can work in operation, I can work in the corporate, what we call role. You can move anywhere, huh? Because this actually the way the moving forward, the way we work, because we need to mobile, we need to be agile. The more you have experience, the more you have a multi skill, then you have more options compared to, let's say you have only one skill. So it's quite common now, it's 5 years, it's okay. Okay, any further questions?
So far, no. Yeah.
Okay. All right, this is actually the what I thought. 60% the job is through hidden market. It's more, this one I already mentioned just now. Okay, right. So now you need to know, okay, the job market and also what you can offer. This is actually what company want. This is actually the candidate that we can see what actually the match lah, the job match. But of course macam fresh graduate ni kita tak tengok sangat lah in term of the experience pasal you don't have experience pun. What we need actually to look your potential, what actually your attitude, and your performance during the first interview. I will give some tip later on. Okay. Okay. Then identify the network actually is not what you know or it's not who you know, but it's who know you. For example, you maybe kenal saya for example, tapi I tak kenal you. So somehow rather you need to establish the networking. Macam mana, for example lah, you need to find a way to see me or to get to establish the networking. Okay. Alright, how you want to establish a networking? List everyone you know, sama ada your family, your friend, internal, external, organization, interest group, sometimes your jiran, sometimes you must know all these things. Sometimes your jiran maybe somebody in that company, then you can use this what we call networking. Dulu orang kata guna kabel lah, tapi kabel pun at the end of the day you need to attend the interview. Cuma the chances for you untuk nak dapat the attend interview is very high lah, the chances, if you have a good networking. Because for example, let's say one position, I have could be 1,000 resume. Where I don't have a time, to go one by one. So at the end of the day, okay lah, I refer, okay, can you recommend me 2-3 orang, or maybe I can call some lecturer, okay. For example, macam Azlan, I call Azlan, okay, can you give me 2-3 candidate, the best student, your best student. This actually we call for interview.
Okay.
Right. So this is actually the shortcut process. Then the company, we no need to spend our money to do the advertisement. We no need to spend our time to go through resume one by one. We just use the lecturer, for example, because lecturer know you all better.
Yeah.
All right.
Inshallah, we can build up that relationship.
Yes.
Yeah.
For example, macam the English, maybe we need to have a corporate com. To write some our bulletin ke apa ke, maybe just a part time, we still have a lot of thing in just some job opportunity there. Right. Okay. So when you dah prepare your resume, you call, then the next process of course interview. Interview ni sama ada you guna networking ke, you guna apa ke, mesti kena interview. Because especially macam big company, now we actually emphasize on the corporate governance. That means it's no more cable anymore. Even though the candidate must go through the interview process. Macam big company, macam Nestle, sebelum I masuk, 5 kali dia punya interview. So they mean how they screen the candidate, because they want to ensure that they recruit the right person for the right job from the beginning. So this actually some big company memang you akan kena attend sampai 2-3 interview. Okay, with the different people. So I will touch a bit on the interview. Okay. So the job interview ni actually bukan sembang-sembang kosong, bukan pergi mengetik ke apa tau. This actually the business meeting. Alright. So this actually the opportunity for you to sell yourself. Kalau you dapat interview sama ada through physical ataupun now most popular now actually through online. I have conduct a lot of interview now through online. you know. So there are specific agenda. So we want to see the candidate sama ada match atau tidak match. Okay, dia punya quality, experience, and the more important thing actually dia punya motivation level. I will share with you some how we evaluate people and so on. Okay. So the interview, okay, I will skip this one. Actually, the interview punya process. Sometimes, you know, we very sad. Sometimes when we receive the macam resume kan, from the student, the way you are write, you know, sometimes ada mistake lah, you know. Sometimes panggil bro, boleh tak tolong panggil interview pun ada macam tu, you know. So you kena ingat lah, because this is actually the first impression. Kan, the way we actually before we shortlisted the candidate. Okay. Okay, I mentioned now the most popular, a lot of company conduct the conference call, conference interview. So this is also very important. There are some ethic in the conference interview. You must make sure that, you know, tak ada gangguan and so on. Okay. So before you go for interview, this is very important. You need to read the advertisement carefully. I'm sure that, you know, they can advertise, or you just clarify what actually the job role. This is actually to prepare yourself, and you can positioning yourself, okay, to suit that requirement. This why you sometimes kalau you perlu call, you call lah that company kan, tanya HR dia what's the job role, I want to know. Okay. So then you start prepare yourself, okay. Pergi ke dia punya website, tengok the company. In fact, on a certain extent, kalau you boleh tahu the background, the panel interview is good. Because now a lot of company just put the interview, siapa dia punya background. Because sometimes kalau you know that dia background dia katalah engineer, then you can anticipate the type of questions. Okay. Kalau somebody actually could be science, okay, the way they are thinking is slightly different, you know. Then you start do what we call research lah. Kena buat research. At least kita tanya, kan, what actually our product. For example, let's say if you are aim to work in Jacob, and you must know what actually the Jacob punya core business, what actually dia punya history, who actually the leaders, who actually dia punya president, kan. So at least you know how good is company. Then you during the interview you can talk the same lingo, kan. Of course, in any company, basic we must know about the sales, profit, number of staff. Then you can figure out how strong this organization. Of course, macam the big company normally they are very strong. Okay, this one I already mentioned about the job. Okay, and also tengok dia punya skill set. Some advertisement dia beritahu what actually dia punya requirement. Then you can start attack or position yourself to that competency. Okay, this one I will skip. Not so okay. This actually what we call a lot of fresh graduate ni. Sometimes bila kita tanya kan, pasal you all tak ada experience. So what we can ask normally, you punya, I'm not so sure. You have your final year project? Ada tak?
I think they don't have a final year project, and we used to have an internship before this, but for certain reason, we don't have now. I mean, they just graduate because of.
Okay, never mind. Sometimes kalau tak ada final project, then kita ask about the assignment. We can test sama ada the student ni just copy and paste the assignment ke, you know. If let's say you really do your assignment, that means you can tell exactly the A to Z. Dia punya proses, dia punya apa. Because some graduate ni kita tanya what actually dia punya final year project. What is the objective? What actually the method you use? Okay, what actually at the end of the day you punya funding? Because we want to see dia punya thinking process, right? Because you tak ada experience. But if you actually went through the process, kan, I punya project 20 tahun dulu, lebih 25 years ago, masa saya dekat UPM, I still can explain in detail my project about landscaping dekat highway. Right? Because I really do it, you know. But kalau we know that because nowadays very easy lah, you know, you just go Google, copy and paste some sort, then you cannot explain, then describe something is not right lah. You know, this actually the interviewer normally they have this type of what we call competency-based interview technique. Competency-based. I will share nanti somehow we evaluate people. Okay. Then bila you interview, the first 5 minutes is very important. This actually the interview dia akan assess sama ada you are right candidate or good candidate. The first 5 minutes itu we can see the body language, the word you use, okay, you punya eye contact, you know. So the first 5 minutes we will decide sama ada okay. If they say this candidate is good, then they will continue. Otherwise, yeah, dia actually just politely lah. Tapi normally dia tak akan stay longer because we don't want wasting our time, you know. So the first 1 minute is very, very, very important, you know, for you to impress, to convince that I'm actually the right candidate, okay, for you to consider. Okay. This one actually for experienced people lah. Tapi for fresh graduate, it's very important. You need to test assignment. And normally we ask about assignment or maybe some extra curriculum activity. What actually the role? Because for fresh graduate ni sometimes we actually look for the potential leaders to be groomed in the corporate ladder. Okay, I will skip that one. Okay, this actually some preparation. I think this is quite normal lah. You know, that one actually maybe you all have some sort of course, but a lot of things, you know, what we see that the lacking is sometimes the fresh graduate ni dia cannot express dia punya idea tu, analytical skill, the thinking process. This is actually what we want. Of course, the basic thing, the first impression, baju apa nak pakai, okay, janggut kena cukur. I think this one actually is quite normal lah, kan? You must prepare for that, you know. Kalau itu you tak buat, then you know, like the product lah kan. Kalau you tengok the packaging is not right, you want to buy or not? Sure, you tak nak buy kan. Tengok pun you dah tak ada ni kan. This actually you prepare the shirt. I will skip that one. This apa ni? This okay. Okay, that one also I skip. Okay. This actually sometimes we want to see about the role and responsibility. For example, katakanlah you apply for certain position, we want to test. You know, for example, let's say macam okay lah, most of them is what the background is English kan, Azlan?
You mean they are taught in English?
Yeah, background.
Background of?
The student, your student.
No, they accounting student and also logistic.
Oh, accounting, logistic. Okay, for example, let's say talking about logistic, maybe we have some role about the warehouse manager or warehouse executive. We may ask, okay, what actually you have any idea about this job role? That one you must show that you have done some research about that. You need to have put extraordinary effort, okay, to do a research about the job role. Kan, sama ada through a company website ataupun sekarang ni senang dia, you just Google, then a lot of things keluar kan for your reference. Okay, sometimes okay lah, performance objective ni normally only for experienced people lah yang kita tanya, right? Then this actually some question macam kita akan tanya what actually your leadership style, something like that, you know. This one is actually quite normal lah kan. Sebelum itu janganlah makan petai. Oh, kali dan sebagainya. You cakap saja, you know, dah berbau petai. I think especially kalau physical punya meeting kan. So you need to have some sort of discipline lah, right? This one actually kalau interview face to face, interview you must arrive earlier, so prepare yourself, jangan last minute, because at the moment last minute ni, your mental tak fokus tau. So you must prepare yourself. Kalau macam online meeting pun you must get ready 10 minutes before. Make sure that the line is okay, and so on. Okay. This actually what we call interview behavior. Be articulate, demonstrate the logic thinking. This actually we will ask the question. Macam we kata, okay, the assignment, you mentioned just now, what actually the purpose of the assignment? What actually the methodology you use? What actually the end result? If you can explain the whole process, that means you have a certain capability or logic thinking. Okay, so I will skip some. Okay, this one is quite straightforward. This one is sometimes people also will ask what actually your strength, okay, and also what actually you punya weaknesses, okay. And sometimes we ask, okay, if let's say you get this position, what actually the value you can add in to our company. So you must be prepared sometimes. Or sometimes we may ask macam career kan, we want to see you punya experience, how you see yourself for the next 3 to 5 years. And some people cannot answer that question. Dia tak tahu pun kan. So that mean dia tak ada vision. Okay. So bila tak ada vision, that mean bila dia datang kerja, just sick of datang kerja lah. So we don't want that, we don't want people with the high inspiration, highly motivated, because if they actually very clear what they want to achieve, then they will put extraordinary effort. You can give the best effort in day-to-day work environment. Okay, so normally dalam interview ni kita akan bagi what we call three phases ataupun tiga fasa lah. The first actually for you to introduce yourself. Okay, this is actually the selling point. Macam the first 5 minutes tu, then they all start evaluate you. And the second what we call session, they start asking you some questions related to some competency. This is you to prepare. Pasal you tahu what actually dia punya requirement, and they will ask the start of the question related to dia punya requirement. Okay, and the last part, normally dia akan bagi opportunity for you to ask the question. Use that opportunity. Okay, sometimes the question, for example kan, kata if I got this job, what actually the next 100 days or the next 6 months, what actually my key focus area or the KPI I need to achieve. Ask that such question. Jangan tanya ada question, berapa gaji cik boleh bayar kan. They want gaji tu later part. Some people bila tanya any question, then dia kata okay cik boleh tak saya nak dapat gaji 3,000, 4,000 kan. Belum kerja lagi dah talking about the very demanding. Right. Use that one actually to show that your interest, you actually memang really need the job. Okay, tadi I dah cover kan this one. Alright. Okay. Okay, I just share with you. Normally this actually the interview score sheet yang kita akan gunakan. You tengok tu physical appearance kan. Tengok dia ada bagi 1 sampai 5. That's why kalau you datang dengan selekeh, tak prepare kan, ini everybody can score 5 at least lah. Kalau you datang dengan kalau that position katakanlah macam corporate communication. Macam accounts. Account ni dia punya career path boleh jadi CFO. CFO normally dia akan end dia punya career could be as a MD. See, from the day one dia akan datang, kita tengok datang dengan tie, dengan business dengan blazer dan sebagainya. This actually give some indication. Kalau datang dengan pakai t-shirt je, collar pun tak ada collar, then sayanglah kan, that one you tak dapat score. Okay, kemudian the personal fit. So during that the questions kita akan tanya, sometimes just to test you, sometimes dia akan provoke you, and certain company dia akan buat macam special punya macam management training yang dia want to groom, dia put in the case study, sometimes they put in the room, then kita tengok for example kan, the group of people letak dekat satu group, you don't know each other. Then kita can see who actually the leaders among that group, yang natural leaders. Kan we take initiative, to lead the discussion. So another company do that. Okay, another company do that. Then kita akan tengok juga dari segi you punya confidence level. Okay, self confident, tapi jangan terlalu over confident. You kelentong semua pun dia akan detect. Okay, just be yourself lah, Kalau you kata kalau certain question you tak tahu, okay, minta maaf cik, saya tak tahu, tapi I will look into that, something like that, Rather than you tak tahu tapi you nak cakap you tahu, then lagi worse lah. Then people will question you punya integrity. Alright, this actually the expression of the idea. Sometimes simple je kita tanya kan, you punya expression. What actually, you see kalau orang yang banyak idea dia akan banyak membaca tau. Then we ask, okay, what actually the last book, buku yang terakhir you baca? Kan, kalau tadi pasal Jack Ma, okay, can you just explain a bit, what actually dia punya key summary? Then kalau you really baca dan sebagainya, then you be able to explain. So when people read a lot, they mean they have a lot of idea. Especially macam you must know what is the latest trend, pasal people talking about IR 4.0, you must know. People cakap pasal what we call gig workers, talking about digitalization, talking about the new norms. So all this one jargon, you must know. Let yourself update all this latest development. Then show that you actually above extraordinary than other candidate. Express the idea ni. Sometimes kita nak tengok dia punya tu. Okay, experience. The fresh graduate normally memang lagi tak ada experience, tapi the only thing yang kita can see in term of your leadership. Sebab itu kalau you involve dalam extra curriculum activity, join club ke, president ke, this actually some point you can score. Pasal we also have experience, some student maybe can score for flat, tapi tak boleh nak lead people. Bercakap pun tak boleh. So the best you kena, this actually you need to develop your leadership skill by involve all the activities masa dekat campus. Okay, the education is quite a step forward lah, sama ada you meet or not meet. Okay, initiative. This actually yang I mention the last part. Kita akan tengok sama ada dia nak tanya soalan or not. Sama ada soalan tu ditanya, kalau average question, standard question, just get score 3 lah. Kan, tapi kalau they show that question yang for example ditanya, okay, latest development, macam how we see your company grows in the next 6 months, this type of question when you ask, then you can got score at least 4 or 5. Okay, kalau ask routine question only 3. But in order to do that, this why very important for you to do some research about the company, about the job. Kan, for example, katakanlah bila you tengok that company kan, you tengok tiba-tiba dia punya sales dia drop. Banyak company dalam website dia tengok annual report. Then you can ask, I noticed that your sales drop from X, how many percentage? Okay, so may I know what actually so this type of question yang kita tengok, this candidate they have some sort of the what we call business minded lah. Then lepas you listen, then you give, could be you can offer your opinion based on some research, you do a benchmarking and so on. Then we also tengok dari segi mental alertness. Okay, sometimes the question yang tanya tu is it the intelligent questions. Okay, sometimes the way we ask also reflect sama ada just nak tanya question saja ataupun they do some research before they ask the question. Then The next yang kita kena tengok ialah dari segi motivation. Motivation macam I mentioned just now lah kan, how you see yourself for the next 3 years from now. Okay, what you want to be. Some student yang high initial dia kata okay, for 5 years from now I want to be at least a manager position in this company. So we can see also this one. Kemudian this actually we also look for talent for development, because when we recruit somebody, that means we need to grow, we need to develop this talent, not just what we call recruit, just complete the job. Okay, so especially macam big company macam Jacob, pasal kita ada lebih kurang 300 company under us, you know. So that's why when we recruit people from the day one, we actually want to develop these people. So one day all the fresh graduate ni akan replace, for example, my position or could be MD from certain company. This way from the day one kita dah look for this development. This way sometimes you kena buat maybe some essay or some question, what we call aptitude test, you know. Sometimes ada profile test, and certain position we send to what we call to our assessment center. Assessment center ni dia akan evaluate you, bagi a very stress assignment, you know. We want to see how you can adjust yourself in different kind of environment. So I will end my session here. If you have any question and answer, I think it's more meaningful if you have more active kalau kita ada some dialogue session.
Okay, guys, you can write your question in the live event Q&A here. I will read out to Haji Amran. Alright, so basically ada soalan tak? Boleh type dekat live event Q&A. Right, based on your talk, Tuan Haji Amran, you talk about the importance of interview, right? So if you can measure, for example, how many percent will look at the, you talk about academic qualification, like do you really look like at the excellent top scorer student like POFLET student, or you look at student who can show a good communication skill, for example?
See, sometimes when we conduct an interview, actually we want to recruit the right candidate. Okay, sometimes the right candidate, sometimes the best candidate could be not the right candidate. So you see, bila the right candidate, we could be no need somebody yang terlalu excellent tapi dia tak ada leadership skill. For example macam let's say if I want to recruit people from estate sebagai estate manager ke apa, dia masuk as a cadet planter, we need somebody a good leadership skill pasal dia managing people. Of course kalau dia dapat score 4.0 is a plus lah kan. That one actually masa the screening tu kita dah screen dah. When they call the interview tu, you must meet the minimum requirement. Macam in our case, at least we look at 3.5 and above lah, you know, for certain position. Actually the, you know, what we call some sort of potential candidate to be grown. Kan. There are some plus point lah, tapi kalau we not only look, kalau let's say you score 4.0 tapi kalau datang interview you tak boleh cakap, you tak boleh nak combine, then also you know you just only can knock the door lah, but you cannot enter.
Any other question you can write in the live event Q&A. So both are important. I mean, academic qualification as
yes, right,
and also the communication skill. Do you prefer the candidate to speak in English or in Bahasa or in bilingual?
Usually during the interview.
Yeah,
it's okay. I mean, sometimes we call campurization.
Oh, bilingual.
Bilingual is okay. I mean, either you want to speak in English or Bahasa, is no problem. But of course when you go for multinational company, then you need to speak in English, because sometimes the panel interview is expected. You know, like the Nestle, you know. Of course Japanese company, their English is not so good, tapi they still can speak basic English lah. But normally they have one Malaysian there, you know, to sit as one the panel interview. Macam Japanese company kan, katakanlah you tak tahu kan, dia kata okay, you ask, okay, I would like to take this as a challenge. Kalau Japanese company kata okay, you know, ada clause sebut challenge saja, they like that this people. You know, I would like to take this challenge. Kalau Japanese company, for sure that you can score high, because you know, rather than I did not know, or, you know, we kata yes, I would like to take this challenge. This is Japanese.
Okay, talking about our student, like you have background accounting and logistics. You have explained about accounting, their career path. What about logistics? Fresh graduate. What actually the specific skill that they need to have? You know, if you, for example, interview. I don't know. Maybe you have experience interview student who apply.
You see, kalau fresh graduate ni kan, basic competency is there, but we looking more on leadership, the way they talk, the way analytical skill, you know. Because why? In fact, macam logistic in my Nestle those days, you know, we have one senior leaders, you know, you can go as a VP, you know, macam common lah, macam procurement, HR, logistic. Ini actually one area when we can move around, you know. You can join as a logistic manager, logistic executive as your entry point. Tapi bila you retire nanti, could be not as a logistic, you could be a marketing director or HR director, you know. So it's depend lah. I mean, it depend on you, because now company actually we need somebody yang all-rounder, multidiscipline. In fact, the more you want to be, for example, MD, because number one, normally kita akan move around tau. Kita akan move around. The more you move around, that means you have a better. Maybe 5 years you work as HR, better you work marketing, you work operation. That means when you be ready to be MD, that means you have all this vast experience lah in all areas.
Alright. Because I still waiting for the question from the attendees ataupun the participant. Mungkin dia orang malu lagi lah. Right. I nak tanya just one question yang bermain di media air dah lama lah, because of we used to have internship. Like I said, our program used to have internship, but for certain reason, for 2 to 3 years, a certain batch or cohort, they don't have internship, accounting and also logistic and other courses too, because of certain reason. I'm not sure why. What is the value that you say? I mean, as a human resource manager, how do you value a fresh graduate with no internship?
You see, sometimes the internship ni, we actually link back to our recruitment process. You see, during the interview, we could be just only the most 30 minutes just to evaluate people. That's why we actually have, whether you join, you have the probation period. Then after 6 months, we can see sama ada this candidate ni actually good or not, alright. Tapi kalau the internship program, that mean you can enter, that mean then we have more time to evaluate the candidate. So the best thing kalau nak buat design internship program ni, actually dia punya last semester, last year. That mean kalau dia good, bila habis saja internship program, then we can absorb as our employees. Kan, those days sometimes
I didn't quite catch that.
You know, what we call third year kan, lepas tu habis ni kena balik ke campus. Then the best actually kalau you can design dia punya final year. Final year maknanya dah habis, terus pergi internship program. Then the company also we can see that, you know, can cut cost kita punya recruitment punya process kan. In fact, masa the first how many 6 month ke whatever month tu, we don't pay the salary, we just pay maybe the certain allowance saja.
Because we macam because we a lecturer, we teach them how to write resume and so on. Usually before this, in the bahagian job experience, at least they can put internship. Tapi sekarang because they don't have internship experience at all, so we are not sure what we need to put at that section.
Dia punya ni lah, dia punya assignment. Assignment. What actually the project, tak kisahlah project ke assignment ke something yang
maybe
add value.
Maybe field trip.
Yes, dia can put there. I mean the assignment yang you buat. So because this is one of the question kita akan tanya lah, because the fresh graduate memang tak ada experience.
Of course lah, I mean.
So that mean in fact kan katakanlah dia let's say kata dia buat the internship, the final year student, let's say katakanlah dia tak dapat absorb as permanent job dekat situ, then okay, I mean the experience how many months tu is you can put in the resume. Okay.
So it is okay not to have internship. I mean okay lah kan, tak masalah kan.
Tak, internship kalau boleh buat the last semester.
No, sekarang ni the problem is we don't have any internship.
Oh, I see.
Itu masalahnya.
So
I mean a student maybe is not exposed to the, at least kalau dia involved in internship, at least they know
Right.
mungkin dia boleh absorb. Sekarang ni the problem is the program that does not offer any internship
I
at all.
see.
macam dulu.
Then you need to creative enough to design, convert dalam bentuk group assignment ke, you know, or project ke whatever lah. So they mean at least they have something to tell masa interview. Kan?
Okay, maybe a candidate pula. Student, if you have a question, bukan senang nak cakap dengan orang yang real industry player yang memang kerja dia rekrut pekerja staff. Okay, you can write in the live event Q&A. Maybe a lecturer you want to ask something, you are welcome. Okay, anyone who involved in this talk, you can ask. Tuan Haji Amran from Jacob Corporation. Okay, he has many experience. Dia pernah involved in Nestle, alright, Johor Corp, Toyota and so on, based on the experience yang saya baca tadi lah. Okay. I think the slide that you show to us basically banyak yang lecturer aja pun lebih kurang tu, because we have subject nama dia meeting and interview skill. So basically we teach them.
Right. Because normally when we conduct this what we call career direction workshop lah, we have one program. Masa interview ni we focus more on the practical tau. So they mean the live interview. Alright, this actually normally lah yang we teach students, because we ada satu program lah we call career transition workshop. Macam bila we can retrenchment, we also help people to attend the interview. And for example, when I was in Khazanah at one time, when we actually carry out the restructuring dekat MAS, when we retrench lebih kurang 6,000 MAS punya staff. Some of them actually pramugari, pilot senang dapat. Di pramugari ni macam mana kita nak tune dia orang. Okay, in fact they have some skill tau. Dia boleh jadi what we call customer service, dia boleh jadi corporate com, they have that skill. But we need to fine tune a bit, you know. This actually we do a reskilling and upskilling programs. Okay. Because some skill you can transfer. Macam management skill, sama ada you work in plantation ke, you work in the automotive ke, you work in mana ke, you still can carry tau. Tapi bila kita talk macam I conduct this kursus pramugari kan, bila saya suruh dia cakap untuk interview, the way he talk like dia buat announcement macam dalam ikhlas, dalam flight. And so we need to find a bit dia punya style.
Okay, Tuan Haji, saya ada certain question daripada I dapat WhatsApp lah. So
yes.
Okay. So antaranya asal I baca satu mungkin Tuan Haji boleh rumuskan lah. Okay, do our appearance is important during the interview? Do they have any close regulation to follow? Then how to respond to some unexpected question, such as what is your future plan if you get this situation? Okay, tu satu. And then second, could you give us some challenge that usually happen during the interview? I mean challenge that maybe from the interviewer. Okay,
yes.
And then this is very direct question because you are HR from HR. Sir, is there any job opportunity that's suitable for logistics student in Jacob? Okay.
There are some opportunity. Okay. still ada, tapi we are very what we call limited lah kan. Ada tu ada, alright, ada tu ada, tapi we not open publicly lah, because you can what we call deposit your resume in our website. Okay, pasal Jacom ni dia ada big company tau under us, KPJ, we have a QSR ni yang buat pizza dengan KFC. So kita ada Kulim Plantation and also Jalen. Jalen ni properties. So that's why you kena baik dengan apa ni. Sometimes we just ask the lecturer, okay lah bagi 2-3 nama. Kan. There is opportunity tapi kita tak advertise. Okay, kita tak advertise. Macam yesterday, I got one info that some people in Kulim in the IT department resign. So now quickly we need the IT guy to come in, right? Okay, itu satu. Yang kedua apa soalan tadi saya dah lupa dah. Unexpected.
Unexpected. How do you if unexpected happen during the
this why actually the preparation is very important. You need to anticipate. But kalau you Google dekat internet ke mana kan, list of most the most common question they ask and how to respond. Okay? You need to prepare yourself. Okay. But of course lah, kalau you memang dah tak boleh jawab, then katalah sorry sir, I don't have but what we call from my research actually the way I answer lah kan. Tapi that's why the preparation is very important lah. Sebagai contoh, what actually if you can give some what actually unexpected. Sometimes good also. You see kalau you pergi attend interview, if you fail tak apa, you just get the experience. You get the experience macam mana first time interview, second time itu, then balik, then you do what we call a muhasabah lah. You tengok which area I need to improve. Memang there are some cases, in fact myself pun those days kan, kadang-kadang you blank tau, you tak boleh nak jawab, you blank kan. Sama ada saya sebagai interview or interviewer, memang kita blank. But I kata sorry sir, I blank, so tak apalah, I mean kita jawab ni nak buat macam mana kan? Tapi kalau normally kalau we
Hello? Dia freeze tu. Tak dengar. Ada dia cakap.
Reading a lot, normally all the good candidate ni dia akan boleh jawab lah kan. Pasal bila kita tanya tu actually no right or wrong, okay? Pasal we just want to see you punya perspektif, okay? You punya thinking process, how you look think from different way, so you can give your opinion kan.
Okay, ada student tanya ni, I tak tahu is it related or not. Should I start my business or study first?
It depends what you want. Kan, this why you must look lah, because dalam keadaan sekarang, let's say kalau tak ada job opportunity, in fact a lot of parents now kalau nak buat investment, let's say nak hantar anak student pun dipikir 2 kali, because now kalau hantar pun tak ada kerja dan sebagainya, why I need to invest, let them start dia orang punya business kan. It depends. Sebab tu we need to be creative enough. Dalam keadaan sekarang ni tak banyak kerja, then we can create what we call entrepreneurship.
Alright, Tuan Haji, ada juga soalan daripada our timbalan pengarah academic affairs.
Yes.
Okay, dia tanyalah soalan daripada bahasa saya. Pendapat Tuan berkenaan gig economy, sejauh mana kesan ke atas job employment? The effect of gig economy to job employment.
Because as far as our concern, whatever the technology we use, okay, dalam bisnes tiga benda aja kita tengok. Sama ada we need to improve kita punya productivity in terms of the cost, quality and speed. That's why why we need to do a lot of the what we call technology. For example, katakanlah macam account ni kan, kalau you tanya bank, I have my friend dekat bank punya ni kan, bank. Saya tanya dia, Zee, kalau you ada accounting student ni, you boleh ambil tak? Dia kata, pasal I pun ada my daughter yang tengah look for the job. Dia kata kalau dia ambil pun, dia tak akan buat accounting job. So saya kata dia buat apa? Dia buat just buat marketing. Saya kata why? Pasal accounting, a lot of company now utilize the technology. Kan? So for example, macam kita dekat plantation kan, at the moment kita actually try to introduce some sort of what we call smart harvest. Smart harvest ni macam pakai drone saja, ataupun bila you potong saja sawit dekat estate, dia terus capture data. Okay, direct go to our office. Okay, so that means we have real life data, kan? So we no need lagi somebody to clock to key in. Kalau dulu punya proses nak key in lah, nak apalah. So we use technology. Sama juga macam dekat estate we introduce what we call cashless society. Kalau dulu setiap bulan kan terpaksa bawa masuk duit beratus-ratus ribu. Terpaksa guna security guard lah, kemudian dia orang beratur lah, bayar pakai cash, but now no more. Kan, you just use a cash card saja, masuk estate tak payah buat duit pun, semua kedai semua boleh pakai ni. Then the more important thing ialah we can see dia punya behavior, kita tahu apa staff kita buat ni, kat mana dia spend, dekat mana dia punya tu. Then we use this what we call technology. Sebab itu in order for company to survive in term of the cost speed, then company need to invest on the technology lah. In fact kita dekat Jacob pun kita tengah buat what we call digitalization punya project. This why this actually there are some what we call job opportunity, the job role kan, we are looking for somebody yang boleh understand the IT ni actually from business punya perspektif, not understand IT only from IT punya perspektif.
Okey, sini banyak lagi soalan ni, saya akan terus bertanya lah, boleh?
Yes, boleh.
Okey, antaranya yang banyak dekat meeting chat ni, sebab saya tak perasan dia punya banyak soalan Okay, question, we shouldn't ask at the end of the interview selain daripada salary, apa lagi soalan yang kita bertanya? Tadi rasanya Tuan Haji dah ada cakap.
Yeah.
Alright, lepas tu dia kata if interviewer ask berapa gaji nak, macam mana nak jawab tu? Kadang-kadang interviewer tanya, okay, berapa gaji you nak? And then macam mana? How do we actually answer that question?
I mean kalau the fresh graduate, normally the expected salary now, around 2,000 is quite common, So sometimes diploma level. Kalau diploma, around that, or maybe kata, okay lah, I'm a fresh graduate, I just follow the company punya policy, but my expectation, you can mention lah the expectation kan, the market normally. I'm sure that you can ask people around, or you just Google what actually the market. Normally diploma between 1.8 to 2.5 is quite common, Kalau you nak minta sampai 10,000, then susah lah.
Okay, tapi kalau lah candidate tu sendiri tanya pasal gaji, is it okay or atau tak? Macam
boleh kalau dia boleh kalau nak tanya kan, kalau I got offer what actually the salary range you like, just what we call tapi for me lah, kalau dia kata okay, if any questions, kalau you tanya salary tu is quite common question.
Quite common.
Sebab tu kalau yang score yang tadi kan, yang saya tunjuk ni, dia dapat berapa? Mana tadi dia apa ni, dia punya initiative kan, average ask only the standard routine questions. Could be you just score maybe 3 lah kan, and candidate itu salary common punya question lah orang akan tanya. And you must go for number 5. Kan leadership question, okay, kalau I dapat this job, the next 3 months to 6 months, what actually the KPI ataupun key performance indicator ataupun assignment I need to complete. This actually the leadership punya questions kan. Ataupun you can relate lagi what actually the top 3 critical issue I need to address immediately if I can get this role.
Okay, ada lagi soalan. Ni macam more to experience lah. If wearing baju kurung when attending the interview, is it too basic or is it okay to wear baju kurung?
Okay, it's okay. Okay. Alright. Baju kurung is quite standard, you know. Some people kalau macam terlalu seksi sangat pun susah juga pasal kita ada certain culture. Sebab tu you need to understand the culture of the organisation. Macam Jacob ni is totally what we call purely macam Malay punya culture, there are some sensitivity. And people, most macam ladies wear the baju kurung is okay, you know.
Okay, I tried to cover all the question ya. Jadi experience kita dah cakap. Okay, ni soalan yang mungkin tentang dia punya active participation in club. Dia kata, okay, if the student has a good grade, can give a talk and can lead people, is that any advantage for him?
Yes, of course.
Satu lagi, memang perlu ke aktif dalam mana-mana club sewaktu di U atau college? Kalau aktif dalam pelajaran je tak boleh ke? Kalau dapat good grade for flat tapi dia mungkin maybe not really active in
based on our experience lah, those people yang student yang score tapi tak involve dalam any activity, normally they cannot lead. They good as kalau dia kerja pun dia sebagai specialist saja, but they cannot be leaders. Kan? Because dalam industri ni kita ada dua career path tau. Sama ada you nak jadi specialist ni maknanya you kerja seorang-seorang lah, macam R&D buat seorang-seorang, you tak perlu communicate tak apa. Satu lagi, you actually can go to the leadership punya role. Bila leadership punya role, you need a people skill, you need a communication skill, because you get result through people. There are a lot of our experience, macam contoh macam engineer, dia good as engineers, tapi because dia good, I mean dia promote kan, kita promote dia jadi manager ke apa, daripada top performer dia tak perform. Pasal dia tak boleh lead people, because the higher your position, actually you need more on leadership skill rather than you punya ni. That's why kalau you involve dalam curriculum, they give you experience lah, because you dealing dengan semua orang. Kan? Kalau you cannot talk, you cannot communicate, then difficult lah, you know. Especially now, katakanlah tadi kan, I told you, there is no more hierarchy of your organisation. We actually go for networking organisation. Networking organisation, that's why you need more what we call engagement, you know. Kalau hierarki senang je, instruct, you buat. Okay.
Okay, soalan seterusnya, sebenarnya banyak soalan, ada yang WhatsApp, ada yang live
tak
event.
Tak apa, je baca.
So kita try to sampai pukul 5 limit kita. Okay, I got question. Mana satu yang we need to focus when we ask in interview? Is it info tentang the company ataupun world issues, I mean global issue that we need to prepare, because sometimes the interviewer might ask that question. Okay. Satu lagi kita, next question, during my interview
ataupun answer yang that one dulu. Nanti lupa. Okay. Kalau kita tanya pasal world, that mean we want to know sama ada this candidate ni actually dia tahu tak the current situation, kan? Semasa then we reflect, oh this guy actually memang membaca buku, memang know what's going on, because dalam business world ni you must understand, kan? Sebagai contoh during COVID-19, kan, the business yang naik apa? Which is the good business? Kan, kalau you nak beli saham ke apa kan, you can tengok macam Top Glove, all this, this basic punya knowledge, kan? You must know, right? So kalau you tak tahu, that mean you you are not what we call all-rounder punya students lah. At least you must tahu what actually the current news. Sometimes dia akan tanya pasal politik pun, sampai kita tanya, okay, what actually you think about Pakatan Harapan dengan Pakatan Nasional? Do you think that which one is better? There are some questions sometimes the interview us just nak tahu you punya what we call analytical punya thinking, kan? Dia kata, oh I suka Pakatan Nasional, why? Then bila you jawab that question, dia ada some question lagi lah, pasal nak tahu sometimes you punya reason lah, thinking, kan? Of course, pasal company specific, then they want to know sama ada you know or not our company. That mean bila orang buat research, that mean yang penting kita tahu you buat homework or not. This is very important.
So
And
in
kalau you
short,
datang without any preparation, kan, so you macam tak tunjuk some interest, to join us.
so in short, both we need to
Yes,
know first
yes.
about company and also the current issue and global issue.
Yes, right.
Okay, next question. During the interview, interviewer usually will like you to introduce yourself. So when we introduce ourselves, is it better for us to tell about our experience or our actually advantage?
Yeah, I think normally you need to start with the family first, okay, basically. Then your education, then masa tu you start sell you what actually you punya strength. Okay, maybe certain assignment ke apa, because normally dia akan continue your introduction to with the related questions. Tapi then kalau you just start sell you punya introduction tu with the subject you actually expert or you are familiar, then very easy for you to answer the questions.
Okay, the next, can I continue?
Yes.
Okay, basically Tuan Haji, now because you have experience in human resource, we're talking about the latest issues. We have economic problem. So the company nowadays prefer, is it lepasan degree or diploma because of the economy nowadays?
Both we can consider, it depend on the what we call the job requirement. Of course lah, from company point of view, kan, kalau kita boleh ambil diploma compared to degree, maybe because diploma slightly the salary slightly lower than degree, then cost saving to us. Then kita kena tengok lah what actually the job requirement, kan. For example, katakanlah macam estate, kan, nak jadi cadet planter, you can enter diploma, you can enter degree. Sometimes we can call both candidate, then kita tengok lah which one actually the better. Sometimes the diploma student better than degree student. And so we are open for that. It depend on the job role, the job what we call spec lah. But as far as our concern, we can consider both.
Alright, this is I think referring to rubric that you showed us. Dia kata, may I know what kind of talent for development should I have in order to get 5 full marks? I think the student referring to the rubric that you showed us.
This one?
Yeah,
Is
maybe. Yeah.
Yeah.
How to get a full 5 mark in terms of talent for development?
Talent development, excellent talent will be the next successor. Okay. You refer this one, right? The talent for development.
Yeah.
Okay. So just what we call, could be 45-minute talking, we can see that sama ada we can develop further this candidate to be our future leaders, because memang any company sometimes we actually develop maybe 10 or 20% we become our top leaders. Okay, because sometimes dalam populasi semua tak boleh jadi leaders. Okay, kalau kita ambil, I have my experience masa I kerja dekat NEC Semiconductor, we always have ambil the best student the best student sampai ke Japan kita recruit. But at the end of the day, we suffer also high turnover rate, because normally the best student ni dia ada high ambition, dia apa, tapi we cannot offer the job. I mean macam the semiconductor tu dia just assembly plant. That means you buat A, B, C, D. Lepas tu you repeat balik A, B, C, D, A, B, C, D. Kan? So at the end of the day, we actually suffer sampai 30% turnover rate. In fact, we pay the salary also very high, tapi we not able to retain people. So we change a bit what we call our strategy. Kan? We just ambil 20% the top talents. Okay, the top talent, because the rest actually just average student. Cukup, because they actually the backbone of the company. Kan? So of course lah, that mean in order to get 5 ni, you need to show in this interview the way you talk, the way you speak. Okay, kemudian you are knowledgeable person. Okay, you willing to take the challenge, then you can prove yourself. Then you can score 5 lah. Tapi kalau tanya pun you slow nak jawab kan. Then susah lah. Because sometimes this actually yang the talent ni kita ambil. But normally yang talent development ni we also send to the assessment center. There are some cases lah we send to the assessment center.
Alright, the next question. In your opinion, what is the great method for us to, as a fresh graduate, to persuade the interviewer to recognize us? What is actually the great method ataupun the best method for us as a fresh graduate to make sure that interviewer recognize us? Because this student said, I have attended interview for government job before and I got rejected because I want to further my diploma, and until now I feel frustrated with the answer. Maybe so dia kata
sometimes dalam you attend the interview ni, I pun dah attend many interview where sometimes we can learn why we fail. Okay, not necessarily bila you fail sekali, that mean you give up. Sometimes you need to attend many interview in order. Sometimes you just attend interview just to get some sort of the experience though. The best kalau you dah banyak sangat you attend interview tapi tak dapat juga, then you need to look. Sebab tu every time after interview you need to do some sort of postmortem. How I can do better.
Alright, okay, this question quite interesting. It said, for the previous experience, could be whatever job even is not related with the job apply. For example, he said, I am accounting student and I want to apply a job such as something experience, something different from that because I have experience work at electronics factory. So what do you think about this issue? Even though
yes, sometimes we also take into consideration because now what we call cross-function team. Kali banyak company macam masa I dekat 6 time dulu we actually purposely recruit the young graduate in order to give a feedback to our editorial. Kita ambil accounting student, kita ambil economist, kita ambil engineering, just join us as a reporter. It's okay because we want get them to look from different punya perspective, different angle. Sebab tu you tengok the improvement of the Straits Time, daripada besar jadi kecil, context different. Actually datang feedback daripada this student yang kita recruit daripada multi disiplin. Sebab tu kadang-kadang dalam the job advertisement dia kata apa tahu, open to any discipline. Dia tak kisah kan.
Even though it's different from our qualification, right?
It's okay lah. I mean, you just tengok lah kalau dia kata open, okay, degree, only just a degree. Dia tak mention pun degree in what. Just only a minimum by degree holder. So you can apply. Yes, sometimes they purposely to recruit, they want to see the dynamic of the team. Because sometimes the engineer student, dengan accounting student, dengan let's say management student, slightly thinking dia tu slightly different. Tapi when we develop something dalam company, we need this what we call teamwork synergy. We need we need somebody challenge something from different angle, then we can get the best result, the best result.
Okay, I have 2 question here. Dia kata just ni from WhatsApp Advice on how do we cope with the job rejection and not to give up? And what content for introduce yourself actually impress you for past interview session? Yang pengalaman tu Haji lah. What is the best introduce yourself yang impress, yang paling best lah?
Yeah, of course lah, kalau you ada experience, you need to explain what we call what you punya key achievement. You see, normally kita kata okay, what is your best achievement? Kita kata best achievement, this why you need to show what actually you punya what we call best achievement. You need to explain. I improve daripada how many percent improve, how many percent sales increase. That means you need to tell the actual story. The best actually you just explain the situation, okay, or the problem or the gap. What action you take? Dipanggil SAR punya teknik SAR. Kemudian what actually the results. Tapi kalau macam fresh graduate ni, pasal you tak ada experience, the best thing actually explain about your assignment lah. This is the only way we can check sama ada you are well versed or you really doing the job or not. And pasal you tak ada experience ataupun maybe kalau you ada part time ke apa ke, sometimes they may ask lah this type of question. So the best, you also need to show what actually you different from other candidate. Something different yang you buat. For example, kalau semua dapat let's say kalau you for flat, you dah join the leadership pun you okay. Maybe you can explain about some what we call social works ke, just additional point lah kan. This actually the additional point yang you can help.
Stop. Yeah. Stop. Maksudnya, hello?
Kalau sebagai contoh, kalau I pergi in company, this actually my strength where other people don't have. I can work in the operation, I work in the corporate work, you know. So I also last time active as a leader student. You need to highlight all these things. Okay.
Ini is very direct question. I don't know because we don't have an internship. Tapi dia tanya if you want to do some practical at Jacob, how to apply for it is very.
You can write in to us.
Or just call out
to us. You can approve the HR department, submit your resume. You know, let's say you see sometimes from the company point of view lah, kita ambil management training ni actually somehow or other is cost saving to us because we no need to pay the salary, full price salary. So pasal kita just pay allowance saja. Sometimes there are some project yang kita nak buat, we need just a short term punya assignment.
Maybe Tuan Haji boleh bagi dia punya email ataupun how to contact ataupun memang ada kat website.
Dah ada website, you boleh pergi lah. You boleh pergi Kulim punya website, you boleh pergi KPJ punya website, QSR punya website, Jacob website. Different company under us, we have a different website.
Okay, jap. I tengah check question, macam banyak question
Yeah.
How we can write in our resume to make us different from others?
I think you mentioned that you ada program kan? You ada apa? You ada course kan? Okay, I can share some. Okay. Tengah azan
Mungkin kita boleh ajak.
Okay, tak apa. I just share with you my resume.
Okay, this is very precious.
Okay. Of course, macam myself, very senior level kan, I always update my resume. Kita start dengan executive summary, okay. The executive summary ni actually give the impression, okay, pasal you just imagine macam I mentioned just now, okay, I mentioned just now, dia tak ada apa, sekejap. Orang tengok sekali saja dia dah dapat roughly kan this candidate. Okay, I mentioned about this actually where by experience. Okay, then we mentioned about this one. Okay, this actually what we call executive summary. So dia bila baca first page, then we decide sama ada nak shortlisted ataupun just put KIV ke whatever. This actually the first page is very important for you to highlight. Okay, kalau macam fresh graduate, that mean you can highlight about you punya macam saya kata ada assignment pasal you tak ada experience, ataupun kalau you buat internship, this actually punya for you to highlight. Okay, then the next you can highlight about you punya career progress. Okay, so you tengok the career progress. One shot dia tahu. Okay, so this actually you just see, tengok I move 7 company. Okay, 7 company. Then lepas tu then you bagi detail. This actually the others. This actually the extra point you need to highlight. Okay, you nampak semua ni kan? Nampak
I think I nampak lah. Kalau guna desktop lebih clear lah. Kalau guna ni lebih kecil lah.
Desktop.
Sorry, kalau guna laptop. Kalau guna phone, I'm not sure lah. Hopefully okay lah.
Okay kan? Okay. Then this actually the extra. Okay, this is extra. Okay, you see as a panel member of the court, macam ni kan, member of the Human Resource Committee, Majlis Agama Islam Selangor. This actually what extra curriculum yang I involve. Okay, where other people don't have, so you masukkan. Then lepas tu, then you masukkan. Okay, this actually you punya education. Right, then license you have, masukkan sekali. Alright, this one is more detail. Then this company, okay, you just mentioned about the key responsibility. Okay, this is a key responsibility, and also key responsibility and also the key achievement. Macam ni kan, establish 5 year roadmap for cooling group with 8 strategies Asia Initiative to drive cooling to achieve 1.5 billion revenue by 2020. Okay, standard lah. This actually the key achievement ni actually our achievement yang boleh measured, okay, very specific. Okay, so this is the best what we call based on my experience lah. You know, this why I can move around. You know, so very detail. I can explain benda ni one by one because memang I directly involved dalam all this project. Macam contoh macam 6 times. Okay. Number of employee, position, key responsibility. Okay. Key achievement. Engagement team. This one, something you boleh measure tau. Improve attendance rate from 87 to 95%. Reduce press spoilage from 5% to 3%. Improve completion press time from 80% to 90%. All this one boleh measure. Jadi bila orang tengok macam ni, that mean you bukan kelentong lah, you know. Right? This one in Nestle. The same thing. Okay, you just mentioned. Okay, direct report. Okay, berapa. This one is more detailed. Okay. Normally at the senior level lagi detail lah. They want to know. Kan? They may ask, they may not ask during the questions. Okay. Ini macam dekat semiconductor. Macam multinational company, sometimes the interview maybe from Japan, you know, from regional. So you need to prepare all these things. Okay?
Ada lagi soalan ni, boleh lagi ke?
Boleh lah, satu question lagi.
Okay, just now you said that you are not in the HR field before you are horticulturist, right? Field from the first place. How do you get to move one field to another field and become very successful? What is the actually tips ataupun what is the rahsia lah?
You see, I memang plan my career development. In fact, from the beginning, I only targeted to work a big multinational company. Okay, Toyota, Nestle, Shell, Petronas. So this is actually one of my dream. And in order to do that, I need to prepare myself. Sebab itu, I start my career those days actually bukan kat estate, because even though I am horticulturist, I joined the Prime Minister Department. So masa tu Tun Mahathir tengah roll out 2020, Wawasan 2020. So I kata this is the best opportunity for me to expose myself, you know, to work with the what we call the stakeholder, kan? Because the Prime Minister Department, you have the opportunity to work with everyone, daripada number 1 sampai bawah. Lepas tu when Mahathir talk about the Vision 2020, he actually talking about UIS policy. That's why I feel that you know, I need to move the Japanese companies. Right? Even though I don't have a skill, sometimes you know, kita kena berani lah. We call bulldoze management. Bulldoze management ni you bulldoze tapi you learn. I actually take a hard way. That's why tu you tengok I buat diploma in IR, Industrial Relation. Kan, we're talking about dealing with union. Kemudian I ada training development from Auckland College. This actually to back up beside your experience. Okay, but the more important thing, you need to build up the trust lah. When the leader trust you, then you know, you very smooth lah you punya tu, you punya movement. That you kena ada target dalam our career ni. Kita kena ada target. Don't wait your boss plan for you or company plan for you. So we need to have what we call our plan lah. For example, Berdasarkan contoh, memang I kata, okay, I want to be the head of the HR. Head HR ni you kena tahu semua. You kena tahu CMB, you kena tahu IR, you kena tahu engagement, you kena tahu dealing with union. This why I already chart my career. So kalau saya tak boleh dapat in this company, I move to another company. For example, when I move from Prime Minister as a training man, when I move to the Denso Toyota company, I bukan buat training, I buat more on IR and change management. So when I move to the NEC Semiconductor, I focus more on regional job, on the compensation and benefit. Pasal I purposely do that in order to prepare myself to take the senior management role. So maknanya from day one you need to have a career planning lah, you know. Don't wait your boss or you need to know, you need to plan yourself. Sebab tu every 3 to 5 years when you move, actually you akan dapat new experience.
Okay, then the next question dia kata, dia tanya lah ni dia seorang girl lah, woman. Dia kata, masakah ada lagi peluang untuk fresh graduate perempuan yang ada kemahiran bertutur dalam Mandarin to compete to get work? Is it Mandarin give some sort of advantage?
Yes, sometimes, yeah. Sometimes at one time, masa I was in the NEC Semiconductor, we memang looking for Mandarin punya ni pasal we want to get a business from China. China actually another good market kan, so they mean we need what we call somebody to faham bahasa China. In fact, masa I dekat Toyota kan, they train Japanese in language, Arabic language. Pasal apa? They want to penetrate the Middle East punya market. So the more you know the language, actually some advantage. And kalau we don't have let's say macam Mandarin language apa semua, I mean advantage lah, because you know that dalam big economy US dengan China.
Okay, ni dia tanya pasal online interview I think Tuan Haji used to have experience in online interview. Dia kata, if we have an online interview, can we read about our research when the interview process run, or do we have to memorize it same as we attend the face-to-face interview? I mean to look natural.
I mean you can like open book lah, interview open book, you can depan you semua ada lah, that means it's part of your preparation kan, you can read ke apa ke, but people can understand lah sama ada you memorize ke. Sometimes the way they ask the analysis punya question, thinking process kan, they can know that sama ada you can understand or not kan. Macam contoh macam problem solving, normally kita akan use why analysis kan. So in order to drill down the problem, then we know that sama ada you understand or not understand.
Okay, I guess it is the last question. Is it ideal to further study under economy? I mean, waktu dia buat kerja, dia nak sambung belajar. Is it okay?
I mean,
adakah benda ni akan ditanya ketika kita minta kerja atau tak?
Sometimes they may ask lah to get the commitment. Sometimes they ask actually to show that you actually develop yourself. When I was when I buat the diploma in IR, actually the part time when I in Denso, you know, because I take the challenge from my boss, because dia kata, Amran, you actually tak boleh jadi HR head pasal you tak ada knowledge on IR. Because tak ada knowledge on IR, that means you tak boleh dealing with union pasal you tak boleh baca the law, you don't understand how to interpret the Employment Act and so on. And I take the challenge. You know, I do this diploma in IR during the Saturday.
So I guess based on meet a live event Q&A ni macam I dah baca semua lah, ataupun yang lebih kurang tu sebab banyak sangat untuk saya baca.
Yes.
Dan guna WhatsApp tu pun dah lah banyak. Saya rasa kalau if we maybe have we can do another, ataupun kita buat program lain mungkin tahun depan ke ataupun semester depan, I think we can use again this online platform, because Jacob also have MS Team. Alright. So I would like to thank Tuan Haji Amran for spending your time, lebih kurang 3 jam, 2-3 jam menjawab persoalan. And I guess you are the right person, and kita adalah college yang memproduce pelajar. So kita mungkin dalam bentuk teori kita tahu, tapi praktikal saya rasa pihak industri macam Jacob lebih tahu. So I think this is the best program yang kita boleh buat supaya benda tu ada apa titik persamaan lah that we can find, and hopefully we can produce the marketable human model capital to the industry. Alright, I think that's it from today. Thank you so much, and
Right.
InsyaAllah kalau ada rezeki kita boleh buat lagi program macam ni. I think it's the best because we can talk to the real industry player dalam Malaysia especially. Okay, thank you so much Tuan Haji. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Assalamualaikum.